there was a season, God was no longer revealing himself to anybody. He was quiet. But then there was a time, the Bible says, before the lamp went out, God called a man, a young boy. How many others did he call that they did not hear? That it took a child to hear. Now, during the period in which the cycle of creation was going, God begins to look at the different times and seasons, begins to look for who he will call, who he will hold, who he would reach out to. Because now, God said 400 years I will visit. 400 years has passed. Now, whose womb will I come through? Remember, in that season, the Bible says, and Pharaoh made a decree that any male child that is born should be killed. So there was a problem. So now, even if God should appear here, the child will die. If God should appear here, the child will die. If God should appear here, how many years did God come and was killed? Until the Bible said there was a woman who had the fear of the Lord and he healed the child. So God had a problem even manifesting or finding someone at the season of his coming. Now he has come to visit his people through a man. But there's another problem. There's also the time when the man is supposed to begin the thing. The man went ahead of himself and then waited for another 40 years. Because it was, the Bible says, and now look at it, it said, and when Moses was at the age 40. So Moses knew that at this time he's supposed to do something, but he went doing it without the power of God. He said at that time he now went and wanted to start doing the thing, but God had not come. He went before his time until he failed. He had to run. The Bible says when he was 80, that's the cycle of 40 years, meaning in the ministry of Moses, the ministry and the empowerment of Moses is every 40 years. How old did Moses die? When did Moses die? 120. So at the next time of the cycle was when he misbehaved and God said die. Because at that period, 40 years are the times in when the power will come. The first time he missed it. The second time he found it. The third time he was misbehaving. And when the power came, he came to meet disorder and said, Moses, you're going to die. So you see, the cycle of his ministry was every 40 years. What is the cycle of your visitation? My brothers and sisters, when is your time? It's your time. But make sure that in your time, you are in time. Because if another person is standing in your time, that time will become the person's time. And then for you to ever taste of your time, you have to submit under that man's time.